Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. What a game we had today between Sunrisers and Chennai Super Kings. I mean, emotions, roller coaster ride for all the emotions. It went up, down, it went everywhere, the game. I have with me, of course, Musti, my co-host, mera dost, mera host, mera khush bhai. How are you?
I'm doing well. What a game, man! Like you said, roller coaster game, nerves going up and down, jangling everywhere. But you know what? I didn't understand. Like myself, and also other Sunrisers fans were so scared, even though there was 57 required in 3 overs. 57, 18 balls. That's like 16 run rate. But like we've seen crazy games in the last week, especially Tiwati has changed everyone's thinking. And imagine, no one used to think about cricket like this, bro. Like 57, 60 runs required in 3 overs, and the fielding team, their fans are panicking.
Yeah.
Are we going to hold on or
Yeah.
not?
The only thing that was giving me a little bit of comfort was the fact that it was in Sharjah, right? If it was Sharjah, I was like, okay, game is over. But that's kind of the effect that Dhoni has on people. Like, I mean, even though
Exactly.
he's been a little bit out of form lately, he hasn't played for a while. But as long as you have the number 7 jersey walking in, like the moment Faf got run out and Dhoni kind of walked in and showed on the TV screen, I was like, shit, not today, Dhoni, not today. and and that's kind of exactly what happened. I mean, like
Unbelievable.
it was there till the end, even until the last over. It wasn't over. Like the I think that the moment that was really worrying for the Sunrisers fans was the fact when Bhuvi got injured. I think after the first ball. I mean, and honestly, for the sake of the tournament, it's hopefully it's not a long term injury. We'll find out a little bit more eventually, but I think they will need him to be all guns blazing because he's their prime fast bowler.
Yeah, you could see he was trying again and again. Normally, when that happens, the bowler just says no, but he tried again and again because I think he realized that we might be screwed if I don't like bowl here. And Warner Williamson also knew that. But at the same time, I felt it was good that he went off because if I think it might be a grade 1 tear, I'm not sure right now. But if he tore it again, like while bowling like full speed, it could have been like a tournament over. So in hindsight, it's all good, but at that time I think it was a very difficult decision to make because looking at the game's balance.
Absolutely, because that's the one issue with going with only 5 frontline bowlers. It was surprising that Abhishek Sharma didn't get another over, but Abdul Samad really came out with the goods today. What a bowler, what a player, what a champion.
What a guy, man.
Young, and what was very, very important, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what was very important was to see the youngsters in Sunrisers really rise. The likes of Abdul Samad, Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma, man, these guys, everyone had almost written them off. Everyone was talking about, the big guns of Warner, Kane, Bairstow, only these guys are performing, no one else. But today the top 4 unfortunately didn't click. It was 70 for 4. It could have been a horrible game. But Priyam Garg, man, apologies to have ever doubted his talent. He's an absolute incredible player. What a player. 50 of 21 balls. I mean, that's a very, very good, healthy strike rate. And he was hitting proper cricketing shots and beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah, he's India's under-19 captain.
Yeah.
So there is talent there. There's a reason why they bought him. Like me, myself, I wasn't like too convinced because I followed him under-19 World Cup as well. But it was Jaiswal who was more impressive in that tournament. Yes. But he's there for a reason, right? Yeah. And like you said, I think this is the biggest taking, and you could see Lakshman Murli more excited today than other wins. Like they won against Delhi as well, but I think they were excited because they backed these guys. They showed faith in them, and these guys repaid that faith, right? Yeah, when you have like somebody like Warner Williamson winning the game, like that's what you expect, and of course you're happy. But this was all the big guys were gone, and these 3 guys stood up and they won the game like themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be such an important victory for the Sunrisers because this was without the big guns performing. Because everyone was there was like batting is susceptible. If you get the top 3, the game's over and stuff like that. But now everyone's going to sit down and take notice of this young Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma, Abdul Samad, who didn't get too much of the bat, but he came out with the ball. I mean, to kind of bowl 3.5 overs. And the kind of thing he did, he also got a wicket of Kedar Jadhav, an important wicket at the time, I think, and he looked like he's a good part-time bowler to have. He'll give you an over 2 overs every game, which is so comforting for a Sunrisers fan because we were worried about the fact that they had only 5 bowlers and that balance wasn't right. Today Abhishek Sharma didn't need to bowl. Samad was the guy today, so it kind of just,
so you have 2 guys there who can
give you 4 overs.
Yeah, 4 overs, like 2 and 2, right?
Yeah. and they are good at 5 and 6 for batting as well. Like,
Yeah.
that just gives you enough enough to work with balance in terms of the team, right? You can think, okay, if the pitch is a Sharjah, like, you might get an extra bowler in. If the pitch is maybe Abu Dhabi, like, you might get an extra batter in. That kind of stuff. And there's like, now suddenly the Sunrisers team is suddenly starting to look very good, and making my playoffs, which I
Man,
honestly expected.
one
The
game
first,
changes everyone's minds. Like I think a lot of us were all, we're all suspecting what's going to happen. Like
yeah,
after the first two games, but 50 or 51 of 26 balls. You have
yeah,
your finisher now.
yeah.
No issues. And
It's,
more than the fans, I think it gives the likes of Warner, Best, and Williamson a lot of confidence.
yeah,
Especially
yeah,
the captain. I think he'll be oozing with confidence now. He knows that. I think Warner himself was playing cautious because he
yeah,
felt like after the first three games that there might not be a middle order. But
right.
with those two guys did it themselves. So now I think they'll be more attacking. I think that will get the better out of these stars
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. And moving on to the bowling, again, a pretty decent performance. Rashid Khan absolutely on fire. I mean, yes, he didn't take a wicket, but 4 overs for 12 runs, man. You really you give so many other bowlers that a little bit of extra, to kind of that extra platform, that extra little bit of runs. With 4 overs for 12 runs, I mean, and that too was in the last over. I think there was a four off him. I think otherwise he would have been in single digits. That absolutely champion bowler. What do you think?
He's bowling a test match spell in a T20 game.
No one's able to pick him, and they're like, I mean, the dot balls that he has, they're like completely missing it, or it's like inside edge and stuff like that. These kind of unbelievable bowling, man. So happy to see Rashid Khan back at that kind of form. And Natarajan, okay game today. Khalil, okay game today. But the fact that Rashid took over so much of the mantle of taking care of the economy in that end, and then Bhuvi with a couple of wickets early on, that really helped
That was
at
the
least one
difference.
important.
But like even Natarajan picked up the wicket. Raidu, that was the difference. That allowed
Exactly.
Rashid to do that as well, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they were getting hit, but if you pick up a wicket while getting hit, that gives the other bowler a bit more confidence because then the batsmen are more cautious.
Yeah,
After Raidu got out, you could see like Jadhav was cautious, Dhoni was cautious.
yeah.
Cautious, sorry. So
And we
that
got
helps.
lucky with a fast
Run
run
out,
out as
yeah.
well.
I think he would have stolen the show if Faf was there. Like he was
Yeah,
the batsman to win them the game.
yeah, I
Dhoni
think so
started
too.
off too slow, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, moving on to Chennai, I think a little
Your
bit of
hometown, man. I'm sorry about the game today.
the, the little bit of issues in batting, bowling, and fielding. I must say, they kind of just lacked. They just didn't feel like they were in top form in all three departments. Some sitters they missed.
Is there a
Some
problem with the lights in Dubai or something? Because this has happened in too many games now. Sitters being dropped. Like Manish
there
Pandey's
must
catch
be.
was a bit
Yeah,
hard, but like the one
yeah,
Chennai got were simple catches, regulation catches.
right. Must be,
Uttappa we
man.
saw
There
the
must be
other
something.
day as well dropping
Yeah,
a
I
catch.
mean
Like
a lot actually. You saw the other day Manish Pandey dropped a sitter.
yeah,
Remember
there's
that? And
some
then
yeah. I'm not
and these are
understanding.
good fielders in Manish Pandey and
Yeah,
Jaddu, and these guys to drop such simple catches. And even Shardul Thakur's catch, I don't know, man. People are taking it very casually. It literally sat inside his hand and it
yeah.
bounced out. Those kind of I couldn't be, but it could not be the lights. It's in your hand. You
I
just
don't know
have to
what the
have the
problem
technique
is,
to
man. Yeah.
you have to just loosen your hands at the right moment to just get hold of the ball and stuff like that. That it doesn't seem like it's the lights. Maybe it is on some occasions, but some of these catches are regulation catches. You have to maybe uh, sit out and practice and just try a couple more, like, just take a few more catches, get used to the lights, because I mean that's honestly, in my opinion, not an excuse at that level of cricket. So to drop such catches, and that, in my opinion, was a turning point of the game. If they had gotten those catches of Abhishek Sharma in the 17th or the 18th over, I think it was, those they could have lost about 8-10 runs, and they lost by 7. So that added up in the end. So
Yeah.
something to think about for them.
Yeah, I think they took it lightly after they got the first four wickets. Even though that's not natural of Dhoni, I don't think Dhoni took it lightly. But you could
Yeah,
see the bowlers weren't giving and the fielders weren't giving their full effort, and they took it a bit lightly and gave a bit too many runs. That no ball as well cost them a lot as well, and that allowed Priyam Garg to get going.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think. Very indisciplined bowling and the last 10 overs cost them. They were on top. I think 130, 140 was even a tough task. Like
Yeah.
it was looking like 125, 130 to me. Like they went 150 plus 160. So
Yeah.
I think very indisciplined bowling. Of course, excellent batting from the two youngsters, and they ran brilliantly between the wickets. I think that they put
Hmm.
pressure on the fielders, but I was very surprised by Chennai. They weren't disciplined enough in the field.
Yeah, and also to the batting, I think again a lot of the owners came on Faf, and he got run out unfortunately, and the others could not really provide that kind of finish that is required off of this Chennai team, and they've done it in the past several times, so it's a little surprising to see. There's a little bit of lack of I wouldn't say lack of effort, but I think unfortunate in terms of, also unfortunate, not unfortunate, but Dhoni didn't seem the Dhoni of the past. I mean, he just seemed like he was struggling a little bit. He had to get his physio on a couple of times. Jaddu played a decent innings. Kedar Jadhav again got out cheaply. I mean, he kind of started off a little bit, but then got out cheaply. Raidu also, he should have read that. He should have read that better. He got out to a. I mean, it was a good ball, but I mean, at that level, I think you should be doing a little bit better. And Watson again, not performing for this team. So there's something to think about in that batting front for them. They can't just rely on Faf all the time.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
have an
think?
unpopular opinion, but I just feel they need to drop
Drop
Watson,
Watson. I agree.
bring in Hazelwood, and get Sam Curran to open the batting. I'll tell
I
you why.
think I won't. You won't. We have not discussed this, but I exactly felt the same thing.
Yeah, we
I
never
was like,
discussed
"There's
this.
no mod. Yeah, there's
I
no
just
way."
I was just thinking of KKR right now, and I felt
Yeah,
that's a good model, like in the sense that like, look, you can't like throw your wicket, but at the same time you can't consume so many balls. Faf takes some time to get going, but when he gets going, he's hitting it. Watson
yeah,
is also taking time, but he's not doing anything with that time.
yeah,
Get Sam Curran there, let Faf take his time. The guy's gonna hit out or get out like Narayan
yeah,
is doing. If it
yeah,
doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you're not wasting balls. Watson wasted so many balls today before he got out.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't afford that. Like, a 160 chase looked like a 200 chase because of those first 3-4 overs. What were
correct.
they, like 4 overs, like 7 runs?
Yeah,
Like
no, I
that's
think
not.
I think it was first 3 overs was a very, very minimum, and then
Yeah,
the fourth over they just let loose a
you
little
can't
bit.
afford that in a T20. Like, you can't let the run rate go so high, like, and just expect Dhoni or somebody to finish it off. You can't
Yeah,
take it so deep, like, especially when it's a
yeah,
160 score. Like, those are tricky scores. So you need to
right.
have one guy. You can't even throw your wicket, so you need one guy there to stabilize the innings, which is Faf, and then have a Sam Curran in there to hit out or get out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I
Um,
agree. And maybe consider Imran Tahir instead of Watson, or a Hazelwood or Imran Tahir, because I thought Chahar and Shardul did a decent job. So I think these guys can continue being the fast bowling option,
Yeah,
and they have
get
Bravo
another
in the
bowling.
death.
Yeah, try to
But
strengthen
Imran
that
Tahir,
bowling. Yeah,
yeah,
try to.
Tahir will be really
Yeah,
useful.
yeah, strengthen that bowling because that's where the issue is. A
Yeah,
bit of death bowling,
yeah,
and take the guy from the top and just try it. Why not? Like, I think that will be a good option.
I agree. I agree 100%. I think that's a good option for them to consider. But also, I mean, you have to do the basics right. You can't drop such sitters. You
Of
have
course,
to.
of course.
You can't bowl those no balls. And if they wouldn't have done any of that, they would have had this game in the bag, because we would have been Sunrise would have been at least 15-20 runs short, and then they would have been able to chase it. So uh, I mean, some positives to take for Chennai. I think they have that batting order somewhat figured out, because the likes of Vijay and Gaikwad were not working. So at least they know that, and then they're now gonna. These are the options that they have. They just might have to just chop and change a little bit more. But I think couple of positives, but just go back to the drawing board, get the basics right, and come out next game. I mean, it's not all is not
Gaikwad is
over.
also an opening batsman, so maybe they can prime there because they played him in the middle
Absolutely,
order. Maybe
yeah,
he'll be more comfortable opening the batting. Maybe they can try a game there. But if not,
right.
then I think they should try Sam Curran for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think 100%. If not open him, maybe just send him a three. Just have him just Raidu and Faf open, and then just send him a three. But a little bit of fine tuning needed in that team. But all is not lost yet for them. Of course, they can. This is a good team. This is an experienced team. They can always come back. They can win 4 or 5 on the trot, and they're always back in it. But some thinking definitely there to do. And I think in terms of Sunrisers, I think a lot of positives to take. A lot. This is a very uplifting victory for them. I think they take a
Yeah, they
lot
haven't.
of confidence
They've
in this
lost to Chennai
from this
nine
game.
times before this. They only won 3 times. This is the fourth time they won. So I think
that
they'll take a
that
lot of confidence.
Yeah, that 2018 tournament, they beat them 4 times in a row. That was so heartbreaking. but yeah, but some confidence definitely to take. I think the fact that they have these youngsters performing today will really lift this team. I still think that they're a bowler short. I think they have to work out a little bit of
Of course.
a little bit of a, especially when they go to Sharjah. I think they need that to work on the balance a little bit more. I don't know how they're going to do it, because now the top 5 are performing. The likes of Johnny Bairstow, David Warner, Manish Pandey, Kane Williamson, Priyam Garg. Your top 5 is almost performing, and then Abhishek Sharma and Abdul Samad give you that bowling option. So that's 6 and 7. So you
Yeah,
want to stick
I
with
mean,
that?
I think you have to stick with that, and you need to bank on Khalil and Natarajan. That's what you need to bank on. If they yeah, you can have a bad day, but those two bowlers, I think Abhishek Sharma and Abdul Samad are not bad bowlers. So like, it's not easy to hit them every ball out of the park.
Correct. The only thing that I'd see is maybe give Johnny another game or two. But if it's not working out, then you bring in Kane on top, and then you bring in an extra spinner, Nabi or someone, or a holder maybe, just to kind of have that finisher,
They
maybe
might
at five,
also
six,
have
seven.
to, if Boop is injured, they might also have to maybe bring in Saha for Bairstow and get Billy Stanlake.
Bailey, yeah, that's an option they'll
Because if
have to
Bhuvi is not
consider.
there, you need a fast bowler who's a bit experienced
I
and
agree.
he has the pace, especially in Sharjah. I think you'll need somebody like him. Otherwise, it'll be difficult. I don't. It'll be a bit more inexperienced the attack without Bhuvi.
Yeah, I think that's something that they need to think about, especially if Bhuvi is injured for a long term. It did look like like a long term injury. Unfortunate. I mean, he was starting to look good this game, especially after a couple of rusty games. Yes, last game was okay, but this game he started to really look good.
What an
He
opening
was,
spell,
yeah,
man!
that one run in that first over, that was beautiful, and he got him a couple of times, just a little bit of here and there, and it was almost done. And then he got him the wicket in the second over. So in his second over, so it's, I mean, a lot of positives to take, but it's going to be unfortunate if he can't continue in this tournament. So
Yeah,
we'll have to just keep our
yeah.
fingers crossed for that. But I
One
think,
advantage they do have, sorry, just like last
yeah,
note, one
yeah,
advantage they do have is the captaincy and the think tank. You see, like Warner's and Williamson, the way they, like, they're discussing and they
yeah,
bring Bhuvi, they involve him as well, like the local lad as
correct,
well, and they have like a think tank there, and they're strategizing. They're calm, like if it was, imagine if it was another captain there, they might not have been that calm during this
right,
situation.
right,
And banking an 18-year-old to bowl that last over, I mean, they didn't have a choice, but
yeah,
like to go speak to him and think, that's excellent captaincy. Like,
I
and
agree.
so I like bringing him. Yeah, in the beginning, that's a genius move, but in the end, he didn't have a choice. He had to give him, but then backing him, giving the confidence, that helps a lot. So credit to the think tank and Captain Warner.
David Warner in those Australian yellows is very good, but David Warner in the orange army orange is something
Yeah.
else, man.
And
He
with
is an
Williamson by his
absolute
side, I think
legend.
it's a unbeatable combination.
I
Amazing
agree.
in terms of captaincy, I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, these guys are so good, man. I mean, Sunrise is very lucky to have them.
Yeah,
I mean, like
definitely.
everyone has very good captains in CSK, and Dhoni has a very good captain. And but there is that, that you see that inexperience in KL Rahul. If
Yeah,
Punjab was in that situation, it would have been a very different
yeah,
situation.
yeah. That's what I'm
Even
saying.
even to an extent in Shreyas Iyer, you see a little bit of inexperience. But just to have that kind of absolute
Exactly,
composure is very, very important. I agree. You
exactly.
hit you got very valid points over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, your player of the match. There's only one person. Come on.
I have to give it to three of them.
I agree. Fair enough.
Priyam Garg, yes, I
Yeah.
know. Like he changed the game, but I have to give it Abhishek Sharma because he started the onslaught,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
counter attack. Then Priyam Garg played a fabulous innings, 50. That changed the game. And then Abdul Samad, man, he pulled the last leg spinner to Dhoni. Imagine what he's going through. He's an
Yeah.
18-year-old guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
like first time playing in the IPL. He's bowling to the greatest hitter in Indian
Finisher of
cricket,
all
like
time. Yep.
finisher of all time, and. First ball goes five wides, and I thought the game was done when he bowled those five wides.
Yeah.
But he kept his
Yeah.
nerve, and he bowled really well. He was bowling into the pitch. He
Yeah.
mixed it up as well.
Absolutely.
18 years old man. Like I wouldn't have blamed him if he got hit. Like
I agree. I agree. Hats off to the young lad. I mean, to
yeah.
keep his
So all
composure
three of
and
them.
change it up, variation. He bowled a faster one. He bowled a flighted one. He
Yeah.
bowled into the pads. He did everything that he could to ensure that no sixes went.
No.
And
Yeah.
he got only 1 6 of the last ball of that over. So,
Yeah.
and then the five wides, which was unfortunate. But apart from that, I think he did a very, very good job.
Yeah. And
Yes,
Priyam
Dhoni
Garg.
struggled a
Yeah.
little bit, but I think it was all credit to him as well,
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. You have to give him
Yeah.
credit for that last over. Like anyone
Yeah.
would be nervous. And Priyam Garg, I think the way he manipulated the field was excellent. His offside game is
Beautiful.
really strong,
Yeah.
and he was piercing the gap. Once
Yeah.
he started piercing the gap, then he opened up the leg side, and then
Yeah.
he played those laps and everything. So he manipulated the field really well, and he found the gaps like to perfection.
Absolutely, absolutely. What an incredible player. It's an absolute gem of a find for Sunrisers. A lot of these youngsters that we were talking about, there's the likes of Gil, Bishnoi, all these guys coming through. But now another one in Priyam Garg also to look out for sure.
Yeah.
But I think
I think
a lot
lack of
of
fans is helping as well.
absolutely, and I think
Yeah.
Brad hadn't mentioned that also. They're trying to ease them into this tournament so that they're
Yeah.
ready for the IPL next season. It'll
Yeah,
be nice to see that.
for sure.
So yeah, good game for Sunrisers. A lot of good points to take into next game, which is very soon, and a little bit of thinking for Chennai to do, but not writing them off yet, as at least not yet writing them off.
I've never seen them at the bottom of the table, man.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. It's a different kind of change.
Yeah.
But this still, I mean, like I'm saying, I'm not writing them off. There's still a lot of games. There's still a lot of time. It's just 4 games up. They still have 10 more games. They even 8 of the next 10 games. They're already in it. They can always make the playoffs still. But but I think they have to fix their issues really quickly, as quickly as they possibly can. But I think with that, we wrap up today's game.
Yeah,
Tomorrow we have a little bit of a double header,
yeah, a
the
little
first
bit,
double
a
header,
big double header,
a
too
big
big.
double header.
Yeah.
Starting off with Bangalore and Rajasthan. Who do you got for that one?
Oof. It's in Abu Dhabi. I'm just going RCB because Rajasthan went from Sharjah, they went to Dubai, and now they're going to even slower wicket, even bigger
Yeah,
ground. So I think that issue will be there. But RCB need to do something with that death bowling, man. Otherwise, like anything will chase. I think it's going to be it should be a very close game. I
yeah.
won't be surprised if either team wins it. But I just feel the Chahal will be very effective in these pitches, and it'll be difficult to get him hit him. And yeah, RCB have played on these grounds. I don't know if they played in Abu Dhabi, but they played in Dubai. Sharjah is completely different. So I feel, yeah, RCB have a slight edge.
I'm going with Rajasthan. I think RCB is found out now. They've been found out. The mystery is over.
Yeah, I'm backing the under. I don't think I think Rajasthan are favorites going into the game, but
Yeah.
I'm just going RCB because just the ground. That's it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. But I just think that Rajasthan will learn from their mistakes, and they look like a solid team. So I think they'll come out on top in this one. So you're prepared to look out for an each team?
For Rajasthan, I will look at Shreyas Gopal.
Yeah.
Just because it's Abu Dhabi turning wicket. We've seen Rashid Khan do well there. Even yesterday, we saw young Chahar do well, Rahul Chahar. So I think I'm going to interest to see how he plays. And from RCB, I want to say Yuzvendra Chahal, but Virat Kohli because he's been in poor form.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if that poor form continues or if he can turn it around tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I think Washington Sundar from Bangalore, because I want to see if he can recap the performance that he had. Very good performance in the last game. I don't think he took a wicket, but I think he gave away only 12 runs. But that was a very, very good performance. I think I want to see if he can continue this. Like it's very important. Everyone can have one good game, but to be able to back it with another one is always the hard one. So I want to see. I mean, Virat Kohli, yes, he's under the pump and he will need some runs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he scores those runs. Because it's Virat Kohli, you expect that from him. But I want to see if Washington Sundar can live up to that standard.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
And
100%.
and from Rajasthan,
Oh, I know
Rahul
what you're gonna
Tewatia.
say. Yeah, I knew it. I forgot about him, man. How did I forget? I should have said him.
I'd see Rahul Tewatia more for his bowling. I'd want him to just take a
Of
step
course,
up and see if he can just deliver with the ball as well. Yes, he's delivered with the bat in a very.
I think the first game he bowled well, but then after that tapered off a bit. But
So
I think
like to
tomorrow's
see him come
conditions
back.
will help him. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to see him come back with the ball a little bit. But I think
I might have to change my prediction after hearing his name, man. I forgot about him. Yeah.
I think that wraps up that game. We'll talk more detail after the game tomorrow, of course.
For sure.
And then moving on to the top of the league table, the top of the league game between Kolkata and Delhi. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, can I just say something? This is the first time I'm more excited about the venue than the teams playing. Even though these are two amazing teams, right?
True.
Fantastic talent on show tomorrow. Delhi crazy batsmen. KKR have Russell. They have the Morgan, Shubman Gill. Delhi have Pant Iyer, but I just like that ground. That ground.
I agree.
I can't wait to see sixes flying here and there. Like it's gonna be an amazing game. It's the first time I'm more excited for the venue, even though two brilliant teams on display.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Absolutely agreed. I agree 100%. I mean there's the likes of Russell to really just go all guns blazing. You never know, they might and the likes of Ian Morgan, Dinesh Karthik, these guys are absolute great players, and the likes of Sunil Narayan will like this kind of a pitch, for at least for his batting, if not for his bowling.
100%.
So the ball coming on the bat, he might just go all guns blazing as well. I'm gonna give Kolkata the edge on this one, just a shade over Delhi. I'm not saying that Delhi. I would not be surprised at all if Delhi wins and goes absolute berserk in this game. But I just have a feeling that Kolkata's experience might come to the party a little bit more. This top 4-5 of Delhi is a slightly younger side. So I just feel like the likes of Gill, the likes of Narayan, Russell, and Ian Morgan will be a little bit too much for them to handle. It's just something that I'm feeling, and just a gut feeling, So I just feel like KKR might just tip this one.
Yeah, I'm just going opposite. I mean,
Fair
look, I
enough.
went the first game as well, but the reason is I feel it's the opposite reason. Like I said, Rajasthan going from a small ground to big ground,
Yeah.
Delhi going from this from Abu Dhabi ground where they struggled a bit to
Yeah.
a ground. I think the batsmen really fancy this
Yeah.
this,
Absolutely.
and they have Rabada there. I think his bowling will help on a
Yeah.
Sharjah pitch. Like he will probably get hit here and there, but I think his bowling will help, and their
Right.
batsmen will love the ball coming onto the bat. So I just feel,
Absolutely.
and like you said, I won't be surprised if KKR win it. Like either way, and so you won't be surprised if Delhi win it.
Yeah.
So it can go either way. But I'm just going Delhi because I feel their batsmen will perform on this pitch.
Right. I agree 100%. And you played look out for both teams.
Rishabh Pant
Mm-hmm.
for Delhi because he's been a bit cautious. I think in Sharjah he'll probably go for it. And for KKR, I would go with Andre Russell. Small ground, man. This guy's gonna hit it to Dubai from there. If he gets going, man, like I'm telling you, 300 is on the cards.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
If he gets going, like
Yeah.
proper.
Narayan, at least for his batting, for me,
Yeah.
and Ash, I believe he's ready. So Ash, if he's coming back into this team, Ash for me, because he can be a real difference with that
Yeah.
experience and that guile that can really help him out in this, especially even though it's Sharjah. I think he has enough experience to really trouble the KKR batsmen. So it'll be fun to see that.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna be an exciting game, man. Two
I
amazing
can't
teams,
wait.
and what a
Yeah,
ground. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I think with that we wrap up the review today. Looking forward to games tomorrow, and we'll catch up after.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. Take care.
Thanks. You too. Take care.